So
Pretty
instead, we're going
strong.
to look at trade deadlines coming up. I don't know when exactly it is in your league, but just know that it's in the next couple weeks. So we're going to be buy low or sell high targets. So I started off with a column for buy low players. These are players. Buy low means that they are not performing up to where they should be performing, and so maybe you can trade for them, get a good deal on them, and then they'll start performing like they should. So the first guy I have, and Britt already told me he didn't agree with this. So my first guy buy low candidate is Kyler Murray. So Kyler Murray started off the season pretty strong, consistently in the high teens to 20s. Last two games have not been good for Kyler. I think he had like 7 points. And what did he have this week?
10.
Yeah, so not good. But I looked at his schedule
Oh, smart.
and I liked what I saw coming up. So I'm clicking it really quick. Of course, my phone is loading now instead of going to
I
it.
mean, no, he's got San
Uh,
Francisco and then
he's
Tampa
already got
Bay. You're playing Tampa Bay, but he's got San Francisco 2 out of the next 3 weeks and then a bye. I'm not fucking with him. If anything, wait till after the bye and try to trade him there, but I do not like Kyler Murray. He does have some weak he plays the Rams, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Seattle. You could probably play him there because he
I
does
just
have the Rams, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland all at home. So
I just think if you're a guy that's streaming quarterbacks and you go to the guy that has Kyler Murray, that guy either is ready to bench Kyler or he's just tired of him and ready to trade him. You could probably get him for really cheap. And I think this is a guy that could easily put up some big numbers.
you could, but I think he's going to be cheaper after at San Francisco. He's probably going to be dropped, in all honesty.
Uh,
Possibly. I don't know if you would ever drop him just because of the potential.
True.
yeah. You've waited this long with him. I don't think you're dropping him. I think you're going to try to sell him, if anything. So you could, like Ryan said, buy low with him.
When I made the him over Deshaun Watson rest of the season, he was coming off a 25 and a 30-point game versus Cincinnati and Atlanta, who are both terrible, which I should have known that. But then he played the Giants and 7 points, 10 carries, 28 yards, 104 passing yards. I mean, and then at the New Orleans in a dome, and the Cardinals can't move the ball right now.
So flip the script. This should have been a guy you should have sold high 2 weeks ago.
You're absolutely right. I tried to buy it for Derek. Derek wouldn't give him up though.
The
So
thing about you're not going to sell high after a 29-point game, and then you got the Giants the next week.
Right. At the time after that, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a top five quarterback that I have here now.
yeah,
So,
ride it out.
which is why I'm thinking that he is going to turn it around.
After the bye week, yes,
Well,
Yeah.
after the bye week would be too late for trade deadline.
that is true.
So if you want him, I would go get him right now. I don't think he's ever going to have two worse games than 7 and 10. So I would go get him. It's a guy I like.
Right.
Next buy low candidate. And another guy quarterback, started off the year strong. Let me pull him up real quick. This is Britt, he's on your team, Carson Wentz. So he
Yes.
started off the year very good. Last 2 weeks he went 6.8 and 14.4. The reason I like Wentz is especially playoff schedule. If you just look at the playoff weeks, at Miami, the Giants at home, at Washington, the Cowboys at home. Like that's a cake playoff schedule for a quarterback. And you could probably get him. The guy might be like Britt. So Britt has Wentz in our league, and he picked up Stafford to start instead of Wentz. So you probably have a guy that's pretty frustrated with him after these last 2 weeks. You could probably get him pretty cheap.
Yeah, and I mean, you're not playing him versus Chicago, probably. He's got a bye and then New England. I'm probably sitting him all 3 of those weeks. Obviously, the one with the bye. But then he's got Seattle, Miami, Giants, Washington, Dallas. If I can make it to the playoffs,
I'd
baby,
say if you
I'm
can
gonna
if
go.
you can squeak into the playoffs,
Yes.
that's a guy that it's going to put up points for you.
Yes, sir.
So those are two buy low quarterbacks that I like a lot, especially moving forward into the playoffs. Okay, a buy low running back. Now I don't know how good of a deal you'd be able to get because this was a first round guy, but I have Le'Veon Bell here. So Le'Veon Bell started off the year with 20. Oh my gosh, did not need to see that. Le'Veon Bell started off the year with 20 points and 16 points, and then has gone 8, 12, 11, 8, and 5. So Le'Veon Bell is just a product of playing on a shitty team, the Jets. The reason he's a buy low candidate is because I think he can still put up big numbers, but I don't know if he'll ever be that first round guy. that you thought he was going to be?
If you can go get him right now for someone reasonable on your team that you can spare, go get him because his schedule is juicy as fuck.
You see, yeah, I mean he's already gotten the usage too. It's just been against hard
Yeah, he's
hard
going to get the
teams.
usage.
Yeah. He goes Miami, the Giants, Washington, Oakland, Cincy, Miami. Like those are bottom quarter teams versus the run every single week. He does play Baltimore and Pittsburgh 15-16, but fuck it. He'll get you to the playoff.
Yeah, he's not a game script guy where he's going to get benched if they go down big, even if they happen to go down big against any of those teams.
Right.
He is their team.
Yep.
Okay, next buy low target. I don't know if y'all are going to agree with this one, but Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. The reason I say him is because he's still getting the volume. He's just not getting the touchdowns. He started off the year 30 and 16, and since then 11, 12, 13, 4, 17, 7. Like he's just not getting the big point outputs. They've looked better with Tannehill, so that's encouraging. Like I said, he's still getting the carries. I think he will be solid down the stretch, and you might be able to get him for cheap from whoever owns Derrick Henry in your league.
Yeah, don't forget about last year too, when he kind of he started off a lot better this year than he did last year, but last year I think he finished the number one running back like the last 6 weeks.
Like whatever.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's the way he runs. He's just a bigger dude, so he can just punish defenses when they're tired later in the season. And his schedule is not terrible either.
Seeing what San Francisco just did to Carolina, I'm playing them next week, and then Kansas City, that's an auto start too. So,
yeah,
there you go. Heard it here first. All right, last buy low target, and I don't know what the owner is going to want for him, but OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. He has been just bad. It's partly the Browns, partly he's dropping everything. He's frustrated. They don't know how to get him the ball when they do. It's just, I don't know what's going on. The owner in our league didn't even start him this week. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But Odell Beckham Jr., he had 1 week where he had 28 points. His other weeks are 10, 8, 3, 4, 14, 7. He was probably drafted a top 5 wide receiver in your league. Well, actually, in ours, he was drafted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th wide receiver. But he's a guy that obviously has the bounce back potential. He can go off at any moment. Just a matter of if it's going to happen or not. But the owner in your league is probably frustrated with him. You can probably get him for just like a flex guy at this point, maybe.
Maybe like a running back too.
Yeah. So just if you really need a wide receiver and you have a bunch of running backs, you can afford to trade one, maybe target OBJ.
Yeah.
My only problem is like the teams that they play coming up, none of them really score a lot of points. They play Denver, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Miami, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Arizona. I don't know. I figure the Browns are just going to pound the ball. If they're going to be, they'll probably be in a positive game script. So Odell's kind of, I'm staying away from him.
I just think at some point he has to get going.
You would hope so, but I just don't like that situation right now.
He just played one of the hardest defenses in the league and still put up 7.7 points, had 7 targets, 50 yards. I mean, I think that's his floor going forward. He also had to play San Francisco.
Looking at it, or go ahead.
I was saying he already played San Francisco. He had 4 points. I just think they were struggling getting him the ball those games, and like Ryan said, he was kind of frustrated. But I'm not worried about him going forward.
Yeah, they've had a very tough schedule this year.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Going to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I'll see him there. I'll see Odell in the stands.
There you go. Any more buy low targets?
I can add a couple. I just wrote down a couple. I'll go through them really quick though. I can kind of group these two in the same category. I think We already talked about both of them actually, but Josh Jacobs, he's not really a buy low, but I just think he's a buy. And then David Montgomery.
That would be a buy high.
Well, if you're
Yeah.
counting 1 week, no one.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that if you're gonna go to the guy that owns him, if you went last week, you'd be like, look, this guy fucking sucks. I'll give you like a flex guy for him or like a guy you wouldn't even start. But now when you go to him, that guy's gonna be like, hey, he just put up 25 points. He's bouncing back. I need more than that from you now.
Yeah, but see when you said buy and sell, I just assumed we were talking about like a playoff push here or a championship push. So these are guys like I want on my team for the championship. Whether or not you're going to start him.
Then that. So you're saying you like Dave Montgomery's outlook the rest of the year?
Yeah. I think it's if you buy him right now, whatever you're going to buy him for, I think he's going to be worth more than that later on in the season.
Okay. But yeah, if you did choose to go buy him now, you would be buying him higher than obviously you could have gotten the rest of the year. Like if you come to me right now and ask for Dave Montgomery, the price is going to be way higher than it was last week.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah.
And then one more guy.
I agree with the Le'Veon Bell. Oh, sorry, Matt. I didn't know you're done.
Well, Le'Veon Bell, we talked about him 15 minutes ago.
No, I mean that's really my only guy that I agree with.
Oh, okay. And then one more guy was.
You just look at name value. That's all you do.
Yeah.
And
schedule.
Yeah, and schedule.
Then go get Le'Veon from Turpin.
I already tried today.
He just got him.
I don't know how many times I told him today. I said, "This is my friend Austin, and there ain't nothing wrong with him, but just pray for him because he's terrible at fantasy."
Oh my!
It's not wrong. It's pretty bad.
If he gets last again.
Yeah, well, he's lucky that Blake is in the league because Blake is doing him no favors and helping his team. And Turpin's team now, if you look at it, like it's pretty good.
On paper, it's not bad.
Yeah. They don't perform at all, but
yeah. All right. The last guy I had was we kind of talked about him too, Keenan Allen. But
that'd be a good buy low.
Yeah, this is a guy that I bought low on him last year too, and it's because he gets a lot of targets every year. He's number 3 in air yards, and he's got like kind of a mediocre schedule coming up, and he's kind of injured right now, so I think you could probably get him for even lower. But got to keep in mind.
It's a good target there.
I like that
solid
one.
wide receiver.
Yep. All I got. Good targets.
All right, let's get this